Well, okay. Just adjusting myself here. Okay. Mhm. Well, hello everyone. It's your girl Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. Let me tell you what this show is about. This is the show where we like to have those real conversations. We like to take those conversations that we kind of keep to ourselves, to our families. We don't really like to share those things, and we like to put it all out in the open for the world to see, all for the purpose of education and learning. And we tend to focus on things in education, employment, mental health, physical health, or pretty much anything that is steamy. So today is no different. I'm excited about today because we have a repeat topic. I love it when we have repeat topics, you guys. So let me tell you what that topic is that we are bringing back. So that topic is life as a teacher. So this is part 3. Life as a teacher, part 3. I came across this guest. I just did his show where we're doing a double recording right now. I just did his show, which is coming out shortly, and now he's doing mine. So any opportunity to guest swap, I am here for it. So life as a teacher, part 3. So my guest is a teacher. He's going to talk about his life experiences and, basically what is life like as a teacher, right? And we're bringing it back. So he is the third person having this discussion with me. So who is the guest? Who is the guest? I keep saying guest, but who is he? Let me tell you who he is. So his name is Eric Jones Jr., and I am going to tell you about him. So let's get into it. Who is Eric Jones Jr.? Let me tell you who he is. So Eric Jones Jr. is the underdog with the heroic heart. He was born with a physical disability. He was bullied, had low self-esteem, did horrible in school, graduated from high school with a 1.7 GPA. He is a 2-time college dropout. That's a lot. Eric overcame life's obstacles that were thrown at him. Now he is a father, an educator, academic resilience specialist. He's a speaker. He has a clothing line, and he is a mentor. Fabulous. Fabulous. And just to give a quick shout out, so Eric Jones, he is all over that social media, you guys, and you can learn more about his business, christiandijon.com. That is his website. He also has a podcast called Underdog Talk. That's UNDER-DAWG-TALK. All of that information is on your screen right now. For those of you who are viewing this on the video, and for those of you listening on the audio, on our audio podcast, all this information is in the description. So I forgot to put it in his bio, so I want to make sure that you see all of his information right now. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to bring Eric to the stage right now. Hi, Eric. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. You overcame a lot of obstacles.
Indeed.
All right. So I did a lot of talking on your show. So now you're going to do most of the talking, and I'm going to be silent. Of course, I'll ask you my questions. So let's get right into it. So life as a teacher. So we're going to talk about your life as a Black teacher and as a male teacher and as a Black male teacher. So let's get right into it. So please tell us your story. I'm going to pass the baton over to you.
All right. So, like you said in my bio, school was my friend. So I didn't like school. It wasn't something that I even wanted to go to every day. Went to college, barely made it there. didn't really want to go to college, but it was get a job or go to college. And I was like, yeah, I'm tired of your rules, mom. So I'm gonna go to college. None of those things worked out for me. And I went through life and just was going through life, and I had just lost a job because I was speaking, and the principal at a school from my church was like, "Do you want a job?" I'm like, yeah, sure. I love kids. What am I doing? She was like working with special education. I'm like, oh, okay, that should be easy. That's nothing hard. Um, it's a difference. It's a big difference with working with special needs kids than working it is with general kids. So my first year teaching, um, I came in at the middle of the school year, so I was it was already classes was already set up and everything, and it was horrible. The reason it was horrible because of the classroom I was in. The lady that I was in, like, she didn't know how to talk to adults. She would talk about you instead of kind of like per se helping you. She was more so down talking to you, and it was other people with her. And I'm the type of person, y'all ain't gonna talk about me in my face, and I'm just gonna let it ride. Like, nah, we not on none of that. So the new school year comes, I get into a class with a new teacher in special education. Her first year, this is my first full year. We get, and I wouldn't say these kids are bad, but their behavior is bad per se. Like, they're a little extra than most other kids with autism. So we get all the worst kids. Like, we getting everybody that's just with the smoke. They want all the smoke. They throwing desks. They hitting. They just they're I think they were a lot of them were kindergartners and first graders, so it was kind of their first times at school. So that school year, it was like a learning experience because I had to um I had to have that leadership, because when you're in a class in special education, you have a main teacher, you have like two assistants. But the teacher is really somebody that just does the paperwork. They do all the logistics. So when I understood that, I'm like, I'm really like a teacher in here. So I have to actually learn. I have to actually do the things that I need to do to help these children. And one of the things was actually paying attention to professional development when they would teach us about kids with autism. And they would, show us what we could do, because when you're dealing with special needs kids, it's not where if they might do something or they might be nonverbal, they can't tell you, so they might react in a violent way. And you're like, oh, you just have to learn, and you have to learn patience. So as the school year goes on, the general kids, their teachers sending them to me and my buddy, because we're the only male. Well, it was a couple other males, but we were two of the fan favorite males, and we were both black. So they're sending the kids to us, and we helping them out. And we started a mentor program for boys more so than girls, because that's mainly who they were sending to us. So as they were doing that, leaving an impact in the school, and as the years went on, I just kept learning. I just kept learning about special needs, learning about curriculum, learning about just being an educator, because sometimes, like I said before, I didn't like school, but I understand the importance of school now that I'm a grown man. So just understanding the importance and understanding, kind of like what you said on my podcast, kids, it's not always about education. It's like home is messed up. Stuff ain't going right. They might not be able to read or write, and they don't want to tell anybody. So it's just getting to know them and build relationships so they can um, feel comfortable with you. And then so I did that, and the school wasn't really paying a lot for my position, and we didn't get paid in the summer. And I'm like, this is horrible. It's not worth it, because it's very draining mentally. It's not physical, but it's mentally. So one of my friends, she has a school, she's director. She's like, hey, you want to come over here? So I started preschool. And that's a whole different ball game, because you're more of a parent and a teacher at the same time, because you got little kids, and then understanding that these little people don't know a lot. They know stuff, but they don't know to write and the ABCs and all those different things. So you're basically teaching them from the scratch. But I was the type of person, we're doing affirmations, we're doing positive stuff, ain't no bullying going on. I'm having fun with them, building relationships so they can understand that I care about them. and they understand when it's time to learn, it's time to learn. So that's kind of been my journey per se as a teacher. Going into the new school year, I'll be a kindergarten teacher, so that'll be a different aspect than preschool and working in special education.
Wow, you definitely have a wealth of experience there. Um, so you brought up something briefly about you being one of two male teachers and one of two black male teachers. So can you tell us the significance of that? Do you feel that you've gotten any special treatment, whether good treatment or bad treatment, about being a not just a male teacher but a black male teacher?
Um, yes and no, because when they see you come in, they're like, okay, cool, we got a black teacher, but then it's all about who you are as a person. Um, so at the new school per se, well, the school I'm about to leave, all the it's kind of preschool, but then there's other kids, there's younger kids. So every day I would go and fist pump. So all the kids know me. All the parents like, who is this guy? He's not the kid's teacher, but they got to like me. And then at the other school, I was a fan favorite with the students, but teachers didn't necessarily like because I'm young. I'm still young, so I come in with the headphones. I got a shirt with, I might wear this, got the sweats or shorts or whatever, and I'm what's upping with the kids, talking their language, and the teachers they kind of didn't like me, but it was funny because they needed me um because the kids that were behavior problems they were sending to me. So it was funny with that. I really don't think it was at the school I'm at now. I get a lot of praise for being the only black dude there, but at the other school, it was kind of good and bad. So the lady that I was talking about that was in her class, I switched over, right? So we trying to do the mentor program in the school, and the black lady didn't want us to have the mentor program. So it was weird to me that a black person wouldn't want us to mentor other black people and especially young men in the school is because she felt a certain way because they used to send the kids to her. And I was like, that's cool, but who they gonna look to more, us or you? Not saying nothing against her, but we're male. So it was kind of ups and downs. But I was just myself. I didn't really care if the teachers didn't like me per se. It was more so if the students liked me and if I could add value to them. But then once people got to know me, I was able to add value in different classrooms.
Hmm. So now with that lady in particular, did you feel that there was competition between the very few black educators in the school?
Um, with her, yes. A couple other, no, not with the other ones. It was just, I think it was because, oh, I've been there 20 years. Who are you? You the new kid on the block. I'm just me. I don't know how to be nothing else but me. So you either gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. That's kind of, there's no kind of in between. And I think it's because I wasn't I wasn't like not a puppet. That's the wrong word, but like when she in her class, she want people to do certain stuff, or she'd be like, "Oh, well, I need you to go over here and work with this student," but then she come over there and do it. It's like, come on, sit down, let me try this, let me do this. And me and her bumped heads because I did come in cocky and act like I knew everything, but I really didn't, and that kind of didn't rub her right. But I would say when it came to like the behavior of kids, it definitely was a competition with her. It was like she's used to the kids getting sent to her. And it's the funny thing. The ladies in my class and the other guys' class were white ladies, and they were down. They was like, yeah, even though they knew it would take us out maybe the classroom or whatever, they was down with the cause. And it was just weird that that happened, that we had to support. Well, the principal was black and the assistant principal was black, so we had that part. But just that particular person, yeah. But everybody else, it was kind of like once you got to know everybody, it was cool with everybody. And then they would be like, "Hey, Mister Jones, I need to bring you such and such," or "Hey, such and such need to come take a walk with you," or "Can you come in my class real quick?" And that was the good part of it. It's just really kind of one person, just being honest with
Okay, so it sounds like it was more of a seniority issue, and that
you. Yeah,
I was here 20 years before you. How you getting all the behavior kids? How you getting all this attention?
yeah. Yeah, definitely. It it was, yeah, it was that. It was, I'm used to things running this way. I don't really want things to go the way you think it should go. It's kind of like I don't like to call them older, but season generation. You know how they have a way of thinking and operating, and then you might have a new person that comes in and has a smarter way or easier way, but they don't want to run with it because they're so used to doing things their way. And it just, that's all that it was. It was, I've been here that long. You're not gonna come and mess up this operation. But it was nothing they could do.
Mm,
Just be honest.
yeah. So let's talk about ho- your technique. So what do you do to relate to the kids? What do you do to make the kids like you? How do you establish yourself as that cool teacher?
Just be myself. Just being honest. Just being me. I love music. So I listen to Gracie's Corner. Like I ain't listening to, first it was Jack Hartman. He cool, but it's like, oh, I got the hip hop version of this, and the kids like music. Okay, let's play this. We be in class. We, you know, and joking. I like joking with kids. I'm just myself. I'm a big kid at heart, and it just, I gravitate to kids. I don't know why, it's been that way for forever, and them just seeing me be me. Because kids like, oh, why are your arms shorter? They ask. I'm like, listen, my arm's gonna be this way at the end of the year. So don't ask me why. I'm like, ask God. I was born this way. And once they get comfortable with me, they like, okay, he just a regular dude and he cool. And they understand, hey, when Mr. Eric says something and he's angry, oh, he means it. It's like, because he's usually playful. So it's kind of like you just gotta just be yourself. I think that's just it. Just be yourself as an educator, as a person that works with kids, and kids will like you because kids know when you're a good or bad person.
Mm. So you didn't. Oops, sorry. So you didn't hide who you were. You didn't. You mentioned you have a shorter arm, a physical disability. You didn't hide that from them. You put it all out in the open and say, "Hey, this is me. Take it or leave it."
Yeah. Um, it's more so because I got kids and it's like they gonna have to deal with it. So it's like can't really hide it. And it's um my gift is speaking, and so I go speak at schools and stuff. So I have to be in front of people. So it's nothing different. It's just I understand kids are gonna ask questions because they're kids. It's nothing against me. It's nothing disrespectful. It's just they gonna ask. Now if a kid jokes, I definitely will check them and put them in their place in a positive manner, just to be like, hey, you can't talk about somebody and they can't change anything. Like, I'm like, well, I could talk about X, Y, and Z on you, and they be like, oh my goodness. It's like, okay, Mr. Eric's cool, and it's just, yeah, it's just understanding who you are, who I was, and just being me. And they rock with me. Like kids love me. I don't know why. I'm usually like the dad kind of person, but they love me and they don't care what I look like or whatever the case may be.
Hmm. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so let's get into um, getting my thoughts together. So let's get into the male teacher aspect of it. So you deal with preschoolers, so like 3 to 5, 2 to 5 years
Yep.
old,
Four and five.
4 and 5. Did you have any, being a male teacher, did you have any issues with parents talking about like why is this man around my daughter, or did you get any like, you're not allowed to escort kids to the bathroom or something like that?
So it's challenging being in early childhood because it's different. It's rules. It's so it was a little different. And then I did get the feedback from a parent, like it was me and another lady, but she was out for like a week, and they're like, who's gonna take him to the bathroom, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, they're like, he's gonna, we're gonna have a woman going there. And I think once they realized their kids liked me, it was nothing that they could do. It was like, okay, my kids learning, they like him, and that's all they talk about is Mr. Eric, so we just gonna rock with them. They got to kind of knowing me, talking to me and stuff. And I've only had one like hiccup with a parent, and that was more so a kid being manipulative and trying to get their parent against me. And then once I told the dad was a little okay. I told the mom, and mom was like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I already understand." So I've besides those two things at the beginning, I really haven't had any feedback. Where nobody said nothing to me because I think it's where they couldn't deny their kids that their kid loved me as their teacher. So it's like, okay, he rocking with me. I don't, there's cameras in the school. He ain't harmed nobody. Nobody really gets hurt on his watch. All the kids, even in other classes, like him. So something about him. So they just really got used to me. And then it was like parents like, hey, how can my kid be in your class? And I'm like, why do y'all want y'all kid in my class? What makes me different? So I've only had one or two, little hiccups, but other than that, it was kind of like the parents got to know me and see I'm a cool dude, and the kids love me, and that's it.
Oh, so you had an easy time then. So it wasn't like, because you know, education is a woman dominated field, so you didn't feel any pressure to perform better or to what's the word um to succeed against your counterparts, your female counterparts.
Yes. So when I got my class by myself, it was like, okay, it's me. It's all on me. So I had to educate myself. I had to ask questions. I had to like when we would do holidays or something special like for Black History Month. I'm like, the one lady was still in my class. I'm like, we not doing that old typical Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks silliness. We there's Black history is anybody that's black. I feel like we all Black history. So we did a wax museum where the kids dressed up. They had a poster board. Whoever could remember their speech did their speech. So it was like I was able to be me. I'm creative. I like to do stuff outside the box. So once I was able to have my own class, we would do stuff outside the box. Because I understood everybody learns different, and we would do paperwork, we would do maybe music, talking, dancing, whatever. And I think it was like teachers would see like what I'm doing, and they're like, oh, okay, that's a little different because I learned how to operate different for each kid. Just being a coach, you kind of understand each player is different, so each kid's different. And most kids, music, that's gonna get them. So if we doing music and then or we doing a cool way of pointing out the letters or the numbers, it's different, and it just worked for me. I think, in all, I just was myself, but I did have a little want to be competitive towards the teacher because like they doing certain stuff, they got the knowledge of it. I don't got the knowledge, so I gotta take my pride aside and go ask, hey, how did you do that, or what do you suggest I do when I'm teaching this? And it was just putting your pride aside, being myself, but asking questions and understanding that I don't know it all, and I'm gonna need some help along my journey.
Hmm. So basically, it sounds like the message is: listen, as long as the kid likes you, it don't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're a man. Once you get the kid to like you, that's it. You're gold.
Yeah, and I think for males, it not being so many of us, it's like you already kind of liked because like, oh, you're a male teacher, yeah. And if you come in and you can be the kid's friend but mentor, it's perfect. You got them. You reel them in with the relationship. Now when a kid comes, I always told kids in the previous school in the elementary, don't lie to me. Just don't lie. Long as you don't lie, I got your back. And when kids understood that, like, okay, all right, Mr. Eric, I did this. All right, well, you ain't gonna get in that much trouble, but you're gonna get in trouble. And it's just be who you are as that person because you're already kind of liked or you're disliked. So you gotta, and if you're disliked, that doesn't necessarily mean you could be liked by the teachers, but the kids might not like. And it's about getting that relationship because it's about helping the next generation. So just always remember to um just be yourself, and sometimes you gotta be a big kid. Just bring that kid out of you, and that'll help you connect with the kids. That's what I would say because that's kind of me. I'm a big kid. We having water gun fights. I'm in there, dodgeball, basketball, anything the kids doing. I'm that teacher that's in there with them. So and they like And I think that helps because a lot of kids might not have a male figure, and just have being that male figure for the kids could be father figure or just whatever they want to look at me as. That helps, just being that person there that they can lean on, kind of like Mr. Clark, but not as mean as Mr. Clark from Lean on Me.
Mm, awesome. So we talked a bit about your students liking you. So I'm wondering, is it better to be liked or to be respected?
Mm. I would say respected. And to that question, I think it was more respected than liked, because it was certain kids that didn't like me, but they knew if I said something to them, I wasn't playing, and they respected what I would say. Now, it was some kids, it was mainly little girls. Oh my goodness, little girls. They just, anywho, they got the little smart mouth. They want to go back and forth, and I'm like, I'm not about to argue with you. You gonna either do this or you gonna do that. And they would, it's like, okay. And then because I worked at a shoe store, so some of the kids' parents was coming in and talking to me, and they like, oh, he know my mama, he know my daddy. Like, I know I got to straighten up because my mama didn't told him he could get on me or to call him, or whatever the case. So I would say it's more respected, because when you're respected, you're liked. Because you don't respect people you don't like. Like, if you don't like somebody, like, you're not necessarily gonna you respect them to a certain degree, but you ain't gonna respect them. And then just having that respect, kids would get in order, because it was white teachers, female white teachers. They wouldn't listen to them. The black teachers, they was kind of like their mom. They knew how to get them. But when it came to the white ladies, they wouldn't listen. I'm like, why you won't listen to your teacher? And I could come, and they go, yeah, we're not doing none of that. You're not about to disrespect your teacher or none of that. So I would say it's more about being respected than like, because just because somebody like you don't mean they're gonna respect you either.
Mm, interesting point. So I'm wondering now, as I hear you talk, I think about my own tutoring experience. I noticed that there's some parents that appreciate me being a Black educator, right? They'll even purposely seek me out because I'm Black, right? So, and those parents assuming it's like Black parents, when it comes to people of color, I find they tend to stick to their own. Um, so I'm wondering if that's something that you've seen in your practice, that you may have Black parents that prefer you because you're Black, or do you get that sort of racial preferential treatment?
So that happened to me. I'm a teacher's assistant. I'm not really, but by title, I'm just a teacher's aide. So I had a kid. It was my first full year. It was the teacher's first full year in special education. We had a kid. His name's Christian, just like my son, same age. And I don't know if you watch football, but my man was like Marshawn Lynch in the kid's body, and he was tearing up the class. Like, it wasn't that he was bad, he was nonverbal, so he wasn't comfortable, he was scared and all this. So he knew violence, he knew, I'm moving stuff, y'all not about to get me, I'm about to harm y'all not about to touch me. And once I got connected with him and he understood I wasn't joking, and he understood, okay, in the morning, we doing our work. As soon as you come in, eat your breakfast, you take however long, but we getting his work done. He would do his work. And then he understood that I wasn't playing. So behavior wise, he, he got his act together. And so then when virtual happened, his mom was like, I only want to work with you. And I'm like, okay. And I think it's because he didn't really relate. Sometimes, us Black people, we don't know about white people or never seen a white person or been taught by a white person. So he doesn't, it was different for him. And she understood me and him had a connection. So if I missed a day of school, she wouldn't get on virtual. She was like, "No, we'll see you tomorrow." Like, when it came to his end of the school meeting, I was on there. I was the only one talking that wasn't a teacher. I mean, that was a teacher. Like, I was the only one, because they couldn't say nothing. They didn't know what to talk about because I work with them every day. So I definitely had that. Um, I would say at the new school that I'm at, or even at the other one, there was enough Black people in there where it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna pick this guy. But I think being a male helps where parents like, I want my kid in his class, because some little boys they need a male, some little girls they need a male. So I definitely have seen it where it's not because I'm black, but it's because I'm a male and they want their kid in my class. But that one time, yeah, she, and I'm still cool with her. I just was done talking to her. He sent me a video, happy Father's Day. So we still have a connection outside of school, even though I haven't taught him in like a year or two. So I think it's just about the connection. When you're a teacher, educator, whatever color, creed, whatever you are, it's about the connection with the student. And if the parent sees that, then the parent's going to be more willing to connect with you. And then that'll be where both parties can help, where, hey, we need to do this at school, we need to do this at home. So that's kind of my little story of a parent picking me over anybody else. And I'm pretty sure she picked me because I was black.
Hmm. So now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that being black was a factor for that parent? And it's interesting that you brought up the new school in terms of being a male, that some parents preferred the male teacher, especially like if they had boys, they felt if they had boys, or some girls need a male figure, like you said. So why well, let's talk about the racial aspect first. So why do you think that there's a that this parent felt there's a connection between her black son and you being a black teacher?
Um, she seen the progress. She seen, because she couldn't leave. Like when she would drop him off, she would have to stay in the class and sneak out. And she seen the progress in him, and him coming in, sitting down at his seat, putting his backpack up, doing the little stuff. Because it wasn't just me on him; it was another lady, this Haitian lady, and she didn't play. She was like mom, and so it was me and her really helping. But he was in my class, and she just seen that he was connected to me. Like if he acting up, I could come and say something to him, and he would get together. I haven't really ever seen his dad. I don't know. I think she's married, but I don't know how active. I don't think it's his dad, his biological dad. I'm not sure. Don't want me to say anything wrong, but just uh having that connection with him and seeing that he actually liked me. He actually I would say kids love their teacher once they get. She could see the love between us. It was just, I think she felt that the white ladies couldn't connect with her. It was more I could connect with her, and since I could connect with her, we could connect together and help her son out. So I think it was more of the connection, because she was one of them tough parents. Like she, yeah, you got parents that's a little rough, and it was like I figured it out. Like I'm not about to go back and forth with you. This is what we gonna, we kept it cordial. We made sure that so me, I lost my thought, but me, I made sure that I gave her flowers. I gave her MVP certificate. I told her, I'm like, you're one of my best parents. Like your son during this COVID has progressed. So I always gave her flowers throughout, our sessions. And I think just me building that connection with her, and then me having a son named Christian, she got a son named Christian. It was just a connection and building relationships, because relationships are the most important thing, is building relationships. And I think it was just me building relationships and me understanding she black and she a black mom, and how black moms kind of think it's a little different from white people.
So it's the cultural experience, right? So it sounds
Yeah,
like you were tough on that kid. You're like, I'm not playing. Listen, you either doing this or you doing this. So you were that tough dad, I think, and it sounds like that's something that's very common in the black culture, is like the tough dad, the tough parents. And so it sounds like it's a cultural connection, a cultural understanding.
yeah, definitely. Because I have conversations with the white ladies and ask them certain stuff, or and I had to explain that to him. I don't think it has anything to do with you. It just has to do with me being black, and she understands me, I understand her. And I had an incident at the school I'm at. So it was a kid. He's just a hood kid. Just gonna keep it a buck with you. He's just a hood kid. We know hood kids. They rough around the edges. And the teacher that his teacher is like, oh, his behavior, this, and that. It's like, no, he's just different than these other kids that you want to coddle, and they might be a little spoiled or whatever. He not. He just a regular hood kid. And he came to my class, and he didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't get in trouble. And I told his mom, I was like, hey, I talked to her. I was like, don't. He ain't really, doing nothing wrong. He just this type of kid. And she was like, how can he can be in your class? And it was just, she understood like, all right, I like you. You reached out to me, and then I know as a male, you gonna get on him if he get out of hand. And I think it's just understanding, like you said, being a dad and being a black dad. You kind of understand because you can say, hey, sit down, and kids know when they hear that, hey, what's going on, and it's kind of like just that. Look, my son did he in there, and I heard him say, huh? Yeah, because he understands that voice, and it's just a cultural thing. But I think it's a cultural thing where other races and even us have to learn the other culture or be able to connect to the other culture. If you can't connect to the culture, never connect to the kid.
Mm. So now let's go the one about the new school where you got that. I'm sorry. You gotta go back to my face. So you got that preferential treatment because of your gender, being a male. So tell me about that.
Yeah. Um, I think it's I think it's just that the parents seen that I would speak to every kid. Like there ain't a kid come by, I'm speaking to them. Hey, how's it going? When they leaving, I'm speaking, and they like, okay. It took some, getting used to me, but then it's like he's a cool dude, and it's more so, um, like one kid, he wants to be in my class. Like he moved on, he graduated from my. He like, I want to be in Mr. Eric's class, and his mom was like, "Hey, get on him if you need to, because you don't have a male. A lot of kids. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot because black fathers we do exist, but there's some kids that don't have a dad or don't have a male figure, and it's just really just having that male figure in their life and being able to say something to them that they can remember when they 20, 30, that could have changed their life. And I think it's just knowing the effects of a black man helps, because I have in my class I got white kids, I don't know, Asian, Chinese, I have a Hispanic, so I got all kids of all color, and their parents, once they got used to me, they like, oh yeah, we rocking with him. Like when I have to tell my kids on, and this week coming up, I'm leaving, I'm not gonna be the teacher no more. And some of the parents was like, no, you can't leave. Like they understand, but they like, no, they don't want me to leave just because I think it's about building relationship. It's that's As a teacher, you have to build relationship with your student, build relationship with their parents, and then when you do that, that's when you're able to have an impact. And that's kind of just me being me, and then just being able to relate, having a conversation, joking with the parents. They like, yeah, we want him in this class, because sometimes kids know, you got teachers, but kids know, I don't really like her, she mean, I want to go over here. And when parents hear that, they like, okay, why you want to go over here? Then they might come in and see the class, okay, and they want me in their kids in my class. That's kind of the gist that I got of it, just being myself and building relationships.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the building relationships, building connections, that's important, and that's a important facet in being an educator and being a teacher is building that rapport with your students. And that it definitely goes a long way. And especially you were talking about being a male teacher, how um, a lot of kids don't have father figures or male figures, and you are that figure that's missing. And you're able to prove as a male that men can you can form you can form healthy relationships with men. I You're in a way you're teaching these kids how to build healthy relationships with men, and that's something that they could take with them into their social lives and their personal lives. What do you think of that?
Definitely. Because when you think about, I think me and you are close in age, like just the male figures that we had when we were in school. A lot of them wasn't black. A lot of them, it wasn't a lot of males in general, but just having, like you said, building that rapport and just understanding there's men out there that care for you, because it could be where your dad or your uncles or the men that's in your family don't care for you, but you got somebody you could go remember that. And like you said, they'll be able to talk. Because for me, for a long time, I didn't like, if it came to a tutor, I didn't want no man. No, I need a woman. I can relate to her. Like, not relate, but I can talk to her. I feel open. Now as a grown man, I need men around. And for young boys, that'll help them understand, like, you can have a conversation. Because that's another thing that I do. I have conversations. I ain't just yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, if, hey, come here. What happened? What you do? What's going on? Why did you do that? And them understanding that they're not just gonna get in trouble, and I'm gonna talk. And sometimes, like, it's common sense. I help them with the common sense of it, or just teaching them certain things, and then I see it later on that they utilize that tool, and that they understand seeing a positive, like, positive person, because I'm positive to as much as I can be, and I think that just them seeing that helps them out and being positive and actually doing things that they might not have. A lot of kids see me play basketball, they play basketball. They might not have never picked the basketball, but because they see me, they might do that. Or I might be like, "Hey, work on your game," or whatever, or I'm playing with them, and they'll remember. They're gonna remember that experience, even if they don't have another male teacher. They'll remember that because, like you said, having a healthy relationship. So having healthy relationships with not just your kids, but with all kids, helps them later in the future. Because if you think back, on as I think back, I didn't have a lot of healthy male relationships, so that kind of tainted me connecting with males. So to your question, I would say yes, it definitely is going to help them in the long run, and help them be better people. It sucks that you only have a kid for so long, and then they might be young and they forget certain things, but you just do the best that you can to add value to their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And kids, what is it? They may not remember what's that quote? They may not remember what you did, but they remember how you made them feel.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I know we're having a lot of fun and we're getting deep, but I got to start to wind things down. So, do you have any final words of wisdom that you would like to share with our audience?
Um, Educators, it don't matter if you're a man, woman, what color you are. Build relationships with your students. Build relationship with their parents, and just be yourself. Don't try to be the teacher that's been there for 30 years. Don't try to be the teacher, the cool teacher. Just be yourself. And add value to yourself by obtaining knowledge, being better as an educator, so that you can add value to our students. And sometimes it might not be your students. Help or build the relationships with all students, not just your students in your class, because you never know what kid you can help. If you guys ever seen Lean on Me, Joe Clark was himself, but he connected with the kids because he was himself. He didn't try to be anybody else. Don't be anybody else. Be yourself, and you give your students the best version of yourself, and then they can become the best versions of their self.
Awesome. Awesome advice. All right, Eric, thank you so much for that advice and thank you for all these wonderful words. All right, it's promo time. All right, you guys. So, Eric, like I said, he is all over that social media. You could find him on Facebook with his personal profile. He's on Instagram. He has two Instagrams. Two Instagram. He's on Twitter. He got a podcast. He got a clothing
Yeah,
store.
close. So, I don't mean to cut you off, but you said it's Christian Dewan. You said something different, and I think I don't know if I was still backstage or I couldn't say nothing, but it's Christian Dewan. That's
Christian
it's I named Yeah, I named it after my son.
Christian Dewan. All right, I do apologize for that.
Oh, it's cool. Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
ChristianDewan.com. So tell us about your business.
I basically started it during COVID. Really kind of just trying to make some extra money selling t-shirts. Then Spotify had 90-day trial. I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna do it. And I was like, what can I name it? I named it after my son because my biological father passed away when I was 4 due to cancer. He didn't really leave me anything. So I was like, let me leave him with something. Let me show him ownership. Let me show him how he can have his own business. And it hasn't got to the level that I want, but I'm keep going. Me and him was just talking about it. He's like, man, we haven't, been making that much money. I was like, man, when you in business, you're not gonna make the money right away. Like you got to keep being consistent and keep going. So it's really just different quotes on t-shirts. And once I get better, it'll be better designs. But it's t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts for your auntie, the baby, your grandma, your kids, whoever, and it's positive energy through our clothes. And so I'm gonna give if you do go on there and you use Underdog Talk, and Underdog is spelled UNDERDAWG, use Underdog Talk as the promo code, you'll get 15% off to all your listeners.
Oh, say that one more time.
15% off if you use the promo code Underdog Talk, UNDERDAWG Talk at ChristianDewan.com.
All right. Awesome. 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 And tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is Underdog Talk. I have conversations with successful underdogs, and it doesn't matter what you think success is. Success isn't always money. It's someone overcoming something. Like myself, I'm a successful underdog because I overcame my disability. Um, and I just had you on there, and we have an educational series because I speak. I'm a speaker. I go to school, so I want to know the insights of educators and people that are in the school. So it's really just about self help and helping people and being and educating people and having conversation. I don't interview. I just like to have a conversation. I do have certain questions or a question, but it's just having a conversation and being able to help my audience get from point A to point B or get from a point to another point so they can be a successful underdog. Then it's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, it's on Stitcher. It will on YouTube. So Miss Gabrielle is my first virtual video. So we'll be next week on I think it's the 13th. It will be launching for the first time virtually. So I'll have it on YouTube, and I think that's it. It might be Pandora too. I'm not sure. Oh, iHeart.
Awesome. Oh, I didn't think I had your I didn't add your YouTube channel. Where's your what's your YouTube channel?
If you type in
Is it the same name?
Underdog, I think it's Underdog Talk. Let me look. It's Underdog. Cause when you start, when I started YouTube like years ago, and I made up, the tag name under there is something. Yeah, I think it's like West Side Easy Kid or something like that. Cause I used to go by that used to be my thing. Cause I'm from the West Side and Easy was my name. But so I have to remember it. I think it's Underdog Talk, but I'm looking right now. But yeah, I didn't really give it because I don't utilize it as much as I do the other ones. But now that I have the virtual, I can utilize it. It's Underdog with Heroic Heart.
All one word?
No, so it's Underdog UNDERDAWG with Heroic Heart.
All right, say that one more time. Tell me the full name.
Underdog with Heroic Heart.
Under you guys, I'm just gonna type this right now. Under dog
Dog with Heroic Heart.
DAWG
Mm-hmm.
with heroic heart.
Yep.
Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm just typing this here. Underdog with heroic heroic heart. All right,
Yep.
I'm just gonna throw in that YouTube channel there.
Yeah, you can, and that YouTube channel is a lot of me speaking. You can see, more about my story. And then it does have like what's it called, an audiogram of some episode. It does have some live podcasts that I did, but you will be from what's the date? I say September, July 13th. From here on out, it will be video because I got StreamYard just like you.
You're evolving. Make that,
Yes,
it's all about evolution.
yes, definitely.
Whew, all right. Fabulous. All right. So Eric, thank you so much again for joining me.
Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for being on my show earlier. And I'm glad we could collab together and be able to add to each other's audience.
Awesome, awesome. All right, I'm gonna place you backstage now. All right, you guys, and it is just you and me. For my online viewers, I'm seeing the love. I'm seeing the love. I have 3 Facebook likes and 2 Facebook loves. So I think this is the most reactions that I've seen. Oh wait, we just went up to 6. What? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, we did 4 Facebook likes and 2 Facebook loves. We just went up to 6 reactions. I think this is the most reactions that I've seen in a video. So, whoa, that is just awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so let's do my wrapping up. All right, so you guys, we have reached the conclusion of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, whatever platform that you are watching this on, or you are listening on our audio podcast, whatever platform that you are taking in my voice, check out our other episodes and don't forget to follow and subscribe. And while you're at it, let us know what you thought about this episode by leaving a comment in the comment section or in the comment thread. And as a reminder, this podcast is a production of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So if you would like to learn more about us, if you're looking for a tutor for yourself or for your child, if you want to know about our services and the things we have to offer, please go to our website. Our website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. And I also have a discount. We getting double discounts, you guys. So Eric just gave you 1 discount. I'm going to give y'all another discount. When you reach out to us, we will give you 15% off 6 hours of tutoring. I am going to say that again. When you reach out to us and you mention that you heard about us from Hot Topics, say the words Hot Topics, we will give you 15% off 6 hours of tutoring. Y'all just got 2 discounts in a single episode. What a deal, baby. All right. And I also encourage you guys to sign up for our email list and our texting list. You will receive exclusive offers, discounts, promotions when you sign up for either list or both lists. So please sign up for our email list and our texting list. That information is on your screen right now if you are viewing this. And if you are listening on our audio podcast, that information is in the description. Okay, you guys, I'm just going to share this final message before we officially wrap it up.
Hey there, have you heard of us? We're a small team of tutors here at A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. We believe that education and information should be accessible to everyone, regardless of income, race, or creed. We're dedicated to making this happen, but we need your help. Please consider making a donation to our company. No amount is too small. Your donation will allow us tutors to remain employed, offer free and low-cost services, put on productions like this web series, and reach out to families nationwide. With your help, we can tackle the academic challenges of our students and the emotional, mental, and behavioral changes that result from these challenges. As a bonus, we can improve our communities in the process. Support us today. Send your donation by Cash App to $ASATS2013, by PayPal or Venmo to @ASATS2013, or by Zelle to success@astepaheadtutoringservices.com. For our Facebook Live viewers, you can also send us a star. Your support means a lot to us. Please note, We're a for-profit company. We're not a charity. Your donation may not be tax deductible. Please consult a tax professional.
All right, you guys, and we are done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you at the next episode. And thank you for your ooh, thank you for your likes. Thank you for your Facebook likes. Thank you for your Facebook loves for our online viewers, and definitely uh, thank you for the shares. I saw that this video has been shared a few times. So thank you for that, you guys, and keep sharing and keep loving and keep liking. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I will see you at the next episode. Now I am signing off. Bye.